Welcome to another episode of All About Life in Thailand, where Ray, delve into one of the broadest and most multifaceted challenges expats face in Thailand. Now, I'll tell you, it can be great or it can be a deal breaker. That's completely up to you. As we all know, we are already often different people or personalities throughout our days. For instance, you're a different person with your wife than you are with the people you work with or for. You're a different person with your siblings, your children, the list goes on. In Thailand, you will slowly become another person. The decision to move abroad and become an expat is a life-changing experience. Leaving behind the familiarity of your home country to immerse yourself in a new culture, language, and way of life can be both exhilarating and daunting. But one aspect that is often overlooked is the profound impact that expatriate life can have on your personality and sense of self. Recent studies have found that living in Thailand can lead to significant changes in how we see ourselves and interact with the world around us. From shifts in our priorities and values to a growing sense of independence and personal growth, the expat experience has a unique ability to transform who we are at the core. Now, in this video, I'll explore the fascinating ways that becoming an expat in Thailand can reshape your personality. I'll delve into the latest research. You'll hear what real-life expats have to say and unpack the key factors that contribute to those profound personal changes. Whether you're already living abroad or considering taking the leap, this video will provide valuable insights into the expat experience and its impact on the human psyche. One of the most challenging, one of the most significant ways that expatriate life in Thailand can impact your personality is by challenging your fundamental sense of identity. When you uproot yourself from the familiar surroundings and social circles of your home country, you're forced to confront the question, who the hell am I? According to a survey of over 3,000 expats, a staggering 35% reported that their sense of identity had changed since living abroad. This was especially true for American expats whose sense of self was more profoundly impacted by the expat experience compared to other nationalities. Sarah, a 32-year-old American expat living in Bangkok, said, when I first moved to Thailand, I felt like I was losing touch with who I was. The way I communicated, the social cues I picked up on, even my values and priorities, it all started shifting. I had to really dig deep and figure out what was core to my identity and what was just a product of my upbringing and culture. This identity crisis is a common experience for many expats as they navigate the challenges of adapting to a new environment and way of life. The very act of removing yourself from the familiar can force you to reevaluate your beliefs, behaviors, and sense of self. Dr. Emma Watkins, a psychologist who has extensively studied the expat experience, said, it's like you're stripped of all the external markers of your identity, your job, your social status, even your language skills. Suddenly, you have to figure out who you are without all those familiar anchors. It can be a disorienting and even unsettling process. However, many expats also report that this identity crisis can ultimately lead to personal growth and a stronger, more authentic sense of self. As they navigate the challenges of living abroad, they are forced to confront their deepest values and beliefs, shedding the layers of cultural conditioning that may have previously defined them. Sarah also said, I feel like I've really gotten to know myself on a deeper level since moving to Thailand. I've had to make tough decisions, step outside my comfort zone, and figure out what's truly important to me. In a way, the expat experience has helped me become more of who I really am. In addition to the identity crisis, the expat experience in Thailand can also lead to a profound sense of personal growth and development. According to a survey of over 33,000 expats, 31% said they felt like a better person since living overseas. Interestingly, this effect was most pronounced for expats living in Thailand, 46%, and Singapore, 54%, compared to only 11% in Dubai. Dr. Watson's explained there's something about the challenges and opportunities of expat life that really pushes you to grow as a person. When you're removed from your comfort zone and forced to adapt to new culture, language, and way of life, it forces you to develop new skills, perspectives, and ways of thinking. Excuse me, I need a sip. That's better. For many expats, this personal growth manifests in increased self-reliance, intuition, and a more feeling-oriented personality. The demands of navigating a foreign environment and building a new life from scratch can foster a greater sense of independence, resilience, and emotional intelligence. Here's a bit more from Sarah. Before I moved to Thailand, I was very much a head person. I relied heavily on logic, analysis, and rational decision making. But living here has really awakened my heart side. I've become more in tune with my intuition, more empathetic, and more willing to go with the flow. I feel like I'm a more balanced, well-rounded person as a result. This personal transformation can also lead to a shift in priorities and values. According to the same survey, 40% of expats said their priorities had changed since living abroad. Again, this effect was more pronounced for expats in Thailand and Singapore compared to other destinations. Like all doctors, Dr. Watson had more to say. No, sorry, Dr. Watkins had more to say. When you're removed from the familiar structures and expectations of your home country, it really forces you to reevaluate what's important to you. Things like career advancement, material possessions, and social status may take a back seat to more intrinsic values like personal fulfillment, relationships, and experiences. For many expats, this shift in priorities can be a liberating and empowering experience. It allows them to shed the societal conditioning and external pressures that may have previously defined them, and instead embrace a more authentic, values-driven way of living. Here's more from Sarah. Moving to Thailand has made me realize how much I was chasing the wrong things back home. I used to be so focused on climbing the corporate ladder, accumulating wealth, and keeping up with the Joneses. God, I know the feeling. But now I'm much more interested in things like personal growth, meaningful connections, and living in the present moment, well, whatever that means. It's been a really profound shift in how I see the world and what I want out of life. Of course, it's important to note that the expat experience in Thailand is not all sunshine, roses, and personal growth. The challenges and stresses of living abroad can also have a significant impact on one's personality and mental health. The constant demands of adapting to a new culture, language, and way of life can be incredibly taxing, both mentally and emotionally. And for many expats, the sense of isolation and lack of social support can be particularly difficult to navigate. These stresses and challenges can manifest in a variety of ways, from increased anxiety and depression to a growing sense of cynicism and detachment. In some cases, expats may even experience a regression in their personality, reverting to more rigid or defensive behaviors as a coping mechanism. Sarah said, "When I first moved to Thailand, I was excited and eager to embrace the new culture. But after a few months, the novelty started to wear off, and I found myself feeling increasingly overwhelmed and homesick. I became more irritable, more withdrawn, and even a bit distrustful of the people around me. It was a real struggle to maintain my positive, outgoing personality." This emotional and psychological toll can be particularly acute for expats who are struggling to adapt to the language and cultural differences in Thailand. The inability to effectively communicate and navigate social norms can lead to feelings of frustration, isolation, and a sense of being out of control. Sarah said, "I remember feeling so helpless and frustrated in the beginning because I couldn't even order a simple meal at a restaurant without struggling. It was like I'd been reduced to a childlike state, and that really took a toll on my confidence and sense of self-reliance." However, many expats also report that these challenges can ultimately lead to personal growth and a stronger, more resilient personality. As they navigate the ups and downs of expatriate life, they are forced to develop new coping mechanisms, problem-solving skills, and emotional intelligence. The expat experience is like a crucible for personal transformation. The stresses and difficulties can be immense, but they also have the power to forge a more adaptable, empathetic, and self-aware individual. It's all about how you choose to respond to those challenges. For those embarking on the expat journey in Thailand, the prospect of profound personality changes can be both exciting and daunting. On one hand, the opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery is immense. But on the other, the identity crisis and emotional challenges can be deeply unsettling. So how can aspiring and current expats in Thailand navigate these personality-altering experiences in a healthy and productive way? I'll give you some strategies. Hey folks, just a quick heads up. Every Sunday morning, I am live streaming from Chiang Rai, specifically to answer your questions. So if you live on my side of the globe, in Bangkok it will be at 0630. If you're in London, it'll be at 0030, which is 30 minutes past midnight. And in Sydney, Australia, it's at 9:30 a.m., 0930. If you're on the other side of the globe, it will be on Saturday in Los Angeles at 16:30, Chicago at 18:30, and New York at 19:30. Okay, you're all invited. I'll be there. I hope you are too. 1. Embrace the discomfort. The expat experience is inherently uncomfortable as you're constantly being pushed outside your comfort zone. Rather than resisting or avoiding this discomfort, try to embrace it as an opportunity for growth and transformation. Remind yourself that the challenges you're facing are a natural part of the process, and that they will ultimately help you become a stronger and more resilient person. 2. Cultivate self-awareness. One of the most important keys to navigating personal changes as an expat is to develop a deep sense of personal awareness. Pay close attention to how you're feeling, thinking, and behaving, and try to understand the underlying drivers behind those changes. Journaling, meditation, and regular check-ins with yourself can also be helpful in this regard. 3. Lean on your support system. While the expat experience can be isolating at times, it's crucial to maintain a strong support system, whether that's family and friends back home or a community of fellow expats in Thailand. Don't be afraid to reach out for emotional support, advice, and a sense of belonging during times of uncertainty or struggle. 4. Embrace flexibility and adaptability. One of the hallmarks of a successful expat is the ability to be flexible and adaptable in the face of change. Rather than clinging to your old ways of being, try to approach each new experience with an open mind and a willingness to learn and grow. Embrace the uncertainty and see it as an opportunity to expand your horizons. 5. Celebrate the transformation. Finally, it's important to celebrate the transformative power of the expat experience. As you navigate the ups and downs of living abroad, take time to reflect on the ways in which you've grown and changed. Acknowledge the courage and resilience it takes to embark on this journey, and take pride in the person you're becoming. So, wrapping it all up, the decision to become an expat in Thailand is a life-changing one, with the potential to profoundly reshape your personality and sense of self. From the identity crisis to the personal growth and challenges, the expat experience is a crucible for transformation. By embracing the discomfort, cultivating self-awareness, and leaning on your support system, you can navigate these personality changes with grace and resilience. And in the end, you may just find that the expat journey has helped you become the best version of yourself, a more authentic, adaptable, and empowered individual. So if you're considering taking the leap and becoming an expat in Thailand, don't be afraid of the changes that may lie ahead. Instead, see them as an opportunity for personal growth, self-discovery, and a deeper understanding of who you truly are. The expat experience may just be the catalyst you need to unlock your full potential and live your most fulfilling life. I think Joyce Meyer said it best. You can suffer the pain of change, or suffer remaining the way you are. It's like the difference between petty theft and mass murder. It's a short term to change and adapt versus a life term of resistance and frustration. Okay, Cobbers, I've said my bit for now. Now I'd like to know your thoughts or questions on this topic, so pop those in the comments. Thanks for staying to the end. Until the next video, share this one. Take care and uru for now.